Hey guys, just a disclaimer. We're talking about problems and coming up with alternatives and solutions. We have about an hour of footage, so let me know, and if you like it, I'll do part two. Thank you. The common, the rarity?
Yeah, the rarity, or do
No,
you just do
it's a
Squire?
no. I
No?
do Squire, or I do the ones that I get from
That
Alchemist.
might be the problem. Like if you want better healing in High Roller, you're gonna need better healing, and you gotta get into account your Vigor. Do you ever add any points to your Vigor?
What does Viger do?
Well, Vigor actually increases how much you heal and stuff. It has to do a lot with heals or your health. It's like your max health, your max like how well you're. So if you're just gonna have to balance your classes out if you want feel the heal, like you
Okay,
said.
so for me, and usually running potions of healing, right? Say you just regular buy the from the alchemist or whatever, including
Right,
the
right.
squire. You're
But
gonna
that's one
get
of the
that's
things.
like what, nine potions, right?
So that's one of the things why you want to level up your quests is because you're probably getting the very basic core potions. Once you level up your
No,
quests,
I
you'll
no,
start getting
I get
common
the
and
yeah, I have the common
green.
one already. I don't have the green one yet. But even going back to that, say you're high roller and you really need a heal, right? But you don't want to put like any points into like healing, or you don't have a mage or
Right, right,
a
right.
a healer with you.
That's when you feel like you need.
Potions of healing are 170, 177 a piece. Lowest. Some are going for 180, 200. And if you're running 9 of them each game, say you get a bad spot and you just instantly die, because Dark and Dark is one of those games that you can run into somebody and just get smoked because you positioned
You know
wrong,
what?
or there's too many mobs spawning in, right? And
I
you
do
can't just
remember hearing about this. I remember, I think I was watching a video or somebody talk about it. Pretty much, they felt like they were wasting the heals. They didn't want to use the heals. They'd rather just die. When the Goblin Merchant would pick up your potions or something, I don't know. They were just, by the time they got to a player, they would already have used most of their heals.
If these skills have to be this good for them to be usable and runnable against going against people, not only people, because the PvE is as hard as it is, especially if you go to Inferno and you're getting epic monsters and elite.
Elites?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going against elites, these hound dogs, and then they all have, and especially for a newer player base, these guys all have different dodges, which they're not all complicated, right? But I'm just saying, for example.
You realize, like, High Roller and stuff, it's all supposed to be hardcore. I mean, as a new player, good props to you if you're like trying to go out of your comfort zone, going in into these
There's
things,
nothing
but
wrong with like, okay, taking it slow, but like if I'm trying to go to high roller and every mob is taking 25% of HP, or because even me, I know the things, I'm not trash by all means, right? But sometimes they
right.
get a couple hits in, right? Like clearing an area, right? And if I have all epic potions of healing and they're going for 200 a pop, that's what, 900. So 9 times 2, or 9
Do you want
times.
to talk about our last game? Our high roller we just did, like that's literally what just happened. Was we had just gotten into Inferno, we were going down, clearing it, a couple mobs at a time here and there. But once we got into that big open area, those archers just were like taking my health away. And then not only that, the circle was pushing us towards the player, and the players were on the other side, and it's like
And
that's
then
why I
guess what?
died.
And then we had to go through a boss, or I had to go through a boss
The
room.
boss room, right. There was the
So
only way was through a boss room.
and I survived way longer than I should have. There was a centaur, hound dog coming after me, right?
Right.
And then I managed to get away from that. I healed up with my regular potions of healing, right? That took like about a minute. And after all that, as soon as I got up, the storm was going. Actually, the storm went past me, and then I got up and I left, right? So now it's forcing me into these these positions, right? And I get the whole, like, competitive, and it's supposed to be hard, but like, if I want these epic potions of healing to really, like, maximize my build, they're going for 150 a pop, and that's very low. That's if they're trying to, like, outsell the higher ones that are going for 180, 200.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that they should either A, make the potions of healing base just better, B, not reset the quest so you can actually buy uncommon potions of healing without having to always redo these quests. by the way, there's nothing wrong with resetting the quest. I get like trying to give your players something to do, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I still haven't did the, or not on this account, I did, but the beetle one. And then on normals where you're actually supposed to grind, you know, your quest. And
Did you
know,
join late though? Oh, I think we joined the wipe late though. We joined mid wipe.
What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure me and you we joined the wipe like midway. Like
No,
I don't know.
It's
The
not,
last
it's not
time
about that. It's about the normals. The normals having the fog of war. You don't even, so look, you don't get to see where the beetle spawn, right? Say you clear enough rooms and you finally find your way to the blue beetle, and then what? It's gone. It doesn't drop you it because the drop rate feels like it's 11%. Now, now if you go to, you know, gear 2 or 3 and you buy out a whole what is it? Buy out a whole luck build, which will probably run you about like 1,000 gold. Okay, it'll probably run you 500. Everything's going low, right? If you're running full luck build, then even when I did run a full luck build and I had potions of pots or a potion of luck, it still wasn't dropping it. So what? Then you just have to escape. What are the chances of you escaping? You can't find a door. There's people there probably trying to do the same thing as you. So you know what I mean? It's just not. They're like trying to go two separate ways at once. Like, are you going to be a slower paced game where, you know, you can collect and kind of build your status by, you know, collecting legendary loot, how I did with my my gear set? Like, it's stacked out. It has all the, you know, additional armor and physical damage that I have, right? And then if I lose that, then shoot, I guess I have to recollect, you know?
So you'd be good with the quest just wiping like every 3 to 6 months?
I think that's more doable, especially people that like, I'm about to actually get my second job, right? And I'm gonna be working all the time. It's gonna be rare for me to just be able to, you know, pop in, especially to a grindy game that requires a lot of time. Think games like Ark, especially if you join a server, things like what is it called, Rust. You have to play like every minute of the day. Like, these guys don't sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these are the type of games that I can't get into because it's just like, I have a life, I have hobbies like volleyball. I like to play volleyball. Different things like this doesn't allow me to put that much time and effort into somebody who's, you know, their main thing is the game, right? But
exactly.
Regardless, I think it's just not good for it to just reset, especially if you're gonna reset it like every couple months. Make the drop rates more easier, bro. Like, I feel like if I have to play 5 games in a row and I still don't have it, that item, something needs to be fixed with that. I'm not talking. I just don't want it, like, of course, like, make it a little difficult. Like, don't just hand it to me, because then there's no point, right? It just makes it a chore. But also, don't make it so tedious and hard to get it every single time that you're trying to get it. You know what I mean? Raise the drop rate to,
honestly,
like, kind of like the goblin ears. The goblin ears, like,
you want to know what? Have you killed any of the giants?
The giants.
So there's this quest, right? It asks for, it's the surgeon. He asks for giant toes. You gotta kill the giants and hope you get their toes. The first time I did it, maybe the first 3 times, this is with the map, right? This was on normals with the map. I knew exactly where they spawned. I had like a little route I would take, and I did this route 3 times because none of them dropped it. I killed about 12 giants, none of them dropped it, and it was just a pain. I don't know, I think it took me at least 30 giant kills to get all 3. So that's like 1 out of 10. But now thinking about it, trying to get these giants on Frost Mountain without the map, just random gen, yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from.
It makes it just unenjoyable to play, you know what I mean? You don't get no sense of direction, especially because to me, if I did the quest and I completed it and I'm getting benefits from the surgeon, like he's giving me better grade bandages or whatever the case might be, right? If I'm getting all these benefits and then it's kind of just like, oh, like, well, reset this month or whatever, and then now I have to do it again and it's taking me like an hour to get 1 item. By the way, an hour to get 1 item. How long did it take you to get that giant toe? Because you said you had to play 30 games, right? Or 30 giant kills?
I think it took me like at least 2 days, at least dedicating at least 2 hours. So maybe like
about
4 hours.
4 or 5 hours roughly, right?
4 or 5 hours, yeah, over the span of.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense for me to continue like wanting to play the game, and the game is just kind of like, it's very demanding.
So
Or I'm
ultimately,
grinding gold.
what do you think is, well, what is the solution here ultimately? Because this isn't set in stone. All things are subject to change.
Yeah, it's a pretty fresh game.
Iron-
I will give it that. It's a fresh game. You know, they're still feeling things out, figuring out what they want to do and what direction they want to take with their game, right? I think they need to stick to a niche though. The whole battle royale thing is kind of